Okay, recording and transcribing. So I want to share what I built with that, because in the back of my mind came to me with the last part of the conversation we had when we last met, when I said to you, hey, if there's anything I can do to help out with any of your ventures, for the kids or whatever, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd mentioned maybe an AI camp or something like that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that in mind too, like, okay, so this tool needs to work for that as well. So we could ramp something up, get something good quality, but, quick to market. So I want to share that with you. But what I want to share with you, excuse me, for your personal, just like Iron Man acceleration into
Yeah, I love
the
it.
atmosphere, because the reason I say that, I've just learned this myself, so I haven't yet weaponized this. I've started, but I've just had one of those, like, literally, this was at 9:26, no BS. I had one of those holy effing shit moments. Like, that's how this works. Okay, I get it now. So I want to teach you that, because it's
Okay.
phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to test it with you live, and we'll see how it goes and all the rest of it.
Let's
So
do it.
let's get kicked off here, and let
Okay.
me share my screen. It's been a while since it's been in Google Meet. It's normally Zoom. Entire screen. Go to this one. Share. Got it. Okay, perfect. So we can close this up. Okay, so let's start with the Manus course. Come on.
Oh,
Here we go. Okay, so let me take you to the actual URL terminals first of all.
okay.
Obviously, I'll share this with you.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
so this was not built from a one-shot prompt. This was a stage of prompting
Okay.
that brought this about. Reason being, I wanted it to understand how I built RPG's knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
But RPG's knowledge base was a prior Manus project. So I just asked it, hey, I'm building a course. Spit back to me what I need for knowledge base to put into this course builder, right? Instead of me
Mm-hmm.
ripping my hair out. So the once you've gone through all these iterations to build something, I found that one of the key things now is to ask Manus to give you a complete executive summary of what was done. And
Mm-hmm.
if needs be, detail the steps. Don't get too verbose and too crazy about it. But give me something that I can embed as a file into further knowledge if I want to replicate this system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you can build a bot effectively, or a project is how I'm building them within Manus. And then what I'm doing is taking that file, downloading that into Google Drive, downloading it from Drive as a docs document, so a Microsoft Word document, and then loading it into the knowledge file upload on the Manus project. So fairly straightforward. And I'll show you that in process as we move forward. But basically, this is what I have created. So, and to show you some of the consistency with this as well, let me pull my Bible a second.
Mm.
Should be on here. Okay, so we've got. Let's open a tab. Manus, we've already got open. So you can see this is an introduction to AI platforms. This is a one-shot prompt.
Mhm.
Come into the modules. So obviously need to drop a video into the module. That would be the human in the loop part.
Did it come up with that image right there, that video?
Nano banana, baby.
That looks that is a cool cover to the video. Wow.
Right. So given really,
Oh wow.
really good placement inserts, right? And
Yeah.
giving key takeaways, the concepts, the action, gives a little knowledge check quiz at the end of it, gives a little pro tip from Ryan, and booyah, you can move on to the next lesson. Next lesson's Manus, next one's Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, Claude.
Wow.
And then I'll load up some free prompt cheat sheets.
Man, Ryan, it's too late for you to get me this excited.
Right?
Oh
So
wow.
now, not only that, Terrence, but what I asked it to create as well within this framework is the video scripts that are needed for my AI avatar to create the videos that go into the course, right? So that's where I'm at right now, because apparently you can, well, not apparently, I managed to connect Manus to the HeyGen API, but there's some glitch when it tries to overlay the voice onto the video, and they error out every time on the API. So I can't seem to get a clean connection with that right now, which is kind of a bugaboo, because otherwise it would have created these using my avatar and my voice directly from Manus, had HeyGen or Manus not had some kind of communication issue. So there is like a further step of automation that could work here as well, which I find quite interesting and to be explored, right? So then we have, that was the prompting guide thing. So that's the AI workshop one. This is a like introduction to ChatGPT if you've never used ChatGPT, right? Ground in. So it'll have a grand tour of the interface. Again, it's got a cheeky little quiz down here. See if you know what you're doing. Little pro tip from me.
Yeah.
So you can see how it's keeping the branding across these prompts, right? Which is goes to proof that using a knowledge base is obviously what we want to do. So, and then this is essentially the brand course creator that I built, and it's just got instructions on, you're the Ready, Plan, Grow course creator, always revert to your upload knowledge files, and always follow RPG brand knowledge where applicable, stay on brand. And then I've got the components for the course playbook, how it should play out, and the RPG starter prompt text, which is the text that kicks off Manus to go and build the actual course. So that is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, Terrence, and what I'd like to do, and I want to just run this by you and see what you think and get your feedback. You know how normally if you pay for a course online and you get behind the paywall, you generally just tend to get either a regurgitated YouTube video or something that's just not, I don't know, to me, it's not sticky, it's not engaging, it's just the person going blah, 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 kind of thing, right? So I want to try and come up with a way that turns that on its head. And I'm wondering if in delivering the lesson that I'm there, if you like, as the teacher, and you're there as the student, and we're interacting live, but that is also the lesson, right? Because undoubtedly you are going to ask questions that the people that are watching it are going to want answered. And I want to try and introduce a more like human way of teaching AI that does not assume that the person watching it has the level of understanding or education of AI that maybe I did, right? So I want to create that bridge where, you know, the, so to speak, the uninitiated can become the anointed, right? But they've got to walk across that bridge first. And I want to be that bridge, but I just spent, like I said to you, I just spent quite a bit of money on a course, and it's a really good course. I've done 7 of their courses already, and I've already been DMing with the owner of the company and everything. And
oh wow.
in fact, she just, that Ryan page that I did with the avatar.
Yeah.
She just emailed that to her mailing list, which I just found out is over 200,000 people, and she put a direct link to it. And she's like, "Hey guys, this is like fantastic stuff. You've really got to check this out." So yeah, I just pinged Marcella. I'm like, "I'm sorry, Soleil, but you got to hear this." I said, "You want it out?" I said, "You've been screaming about Outbound all week. Here you go, baby."
Wow. Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
pretty good.
very excited about that. So this is how I've progressed with this, Terrence. But I also think that we could use this, if you want to do anything for the kids community or anything like that, we could totally like get together and create something like that very quickly.
Yeah.
Build out some good knowledge, however we want to brand it, and we could bring some really good value, very quickly
I
without
love it.
too much.
So I'm curious,
Yeah.
how much of a prompt did you have to give Manus to get it to create all of this? Like, 'cause you said it was in stages, right?
Yeah, so essentially I boiled it down to, let me just check I have no other Manus windows open. I've got so many things open right now, but there is a reason for that. Manus launch. Okay. So essentially I boiled it down to these basic following instructions. You are the Ready Plan Grow course creator agent. Always refer to your upload knowledge files and always follow RPG brand knowledge where applicable. Stay on brand. So,
That's it.
so in here we have, my gosh, excuse me. So in
Okay.
here we have the knowledge files that I wanted to load up. So I took the React code from the original file, turn it into a PDF so that it understands how the layout should always be. Okay. So we've got a 10-page code layout, so it gives it the structure of what it needs to do. Then next we have the course playbook. Whoops. This happened earlier and it got really weird on me, so we'll try and read through that. I'm not sure if you could see it. But this is the course creation playbook. So this goes through how it should create it. The digital workshop aesthetic is what I ended up calling it while I was designing it. Gives it a color palette in hex codes and OKLCH color space, so that we've got modern CSS implementation, typography, technical framework. So framework is React 19 plus Vite, styling tailwind CSS4, blah, 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 blah. File structure, video guidelines, the whole nuts and bolts basically are in here for the knowledge base. So it knows exactly what it should be doing. And this was all generated through the process of developing, and I'm trying to recall the exact process. I developed the first one and then asked it to give me the package of contents I would need in order to replicate, but with a different topic. So that's all the stuff that it gave me. And then this is the actual prompt that it runs, which please use the following attached file. This is a source of truth for this project. So it's using the RPG course playbook and the component library as I just shown you. sticking to those. Project goal, build a static React website for a course titled, insert course name here. Initialize project, create a new title, apply the brand, configure, implement components, workshop layout, quiz, video player, generate course data, because that's the other thing, Terrence, that I haven't shown you as well, as far as assets that are actually created on the Manus knowledge. You can download the module slides, so you can download the PDF.
This is incredible.
So here's
Wow.
your, after you've done the first one, you can grab this PDF. This goes through all the high points that'll be in the training. So, in fact, I notice it's missing some detail.
You have a game-changing solution here.
Have a what, sorry?
I said, this is a game-changing solution.
Right?
Yeah.
So
This
it's created all of those for each one.
Yeah.
Then let me go back to Manus itself. A few more. So let me let me show you the latest weapon that I created. So Marcella sent me a spreadsheet with about 35, 36 corporate opportunities, pitch deck programs, grants, etc. So she said, do you think if you had Scarlett, as we affectionately call Manus, take a look at this, she could find more programs? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. So I had Scarlett go out and look, and there was so much data in the spreadsheet that Manus suggested, why don't we turn this into a searchable, website so that people can drill down and find what they want? Because I asked it to, I invoked 50 agents and asked each agent to search a state, and then had a parent agent that basically monitored all that and made sure the information was collected properly. So this was the end result, which is now published on our subdomain. It went out and found 267 additional programs that are out there in the country. It then basically created this directory, Terrence. Let me make this a little bigger. You can probably see it a little better. Let's go. Right? Totally selectable. Show grants only. Search by state. Oops. Maryland, Maine, Kansas, Kentucky. Let's take that off. There we go. Then, not only did it do that, and gives you a direct link to whatever program it is, and not one of them 404s. So that is now a resource on RPG, because I just slapped that up to a subdomain and went from there. So I would suggest that you have Manus create a directory of automation companies, engineers, whatever is the official umbrella of your robotics business, like the parent of what you want to capture.
Yeah.
And I'd have Manus go out, and I'll show you how you can set it up so it can do it, to not only do that, but also create the website for you. And you're hosted on Wix, aren't you, Terrence?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. Is your domain managed at Wix as well?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so I can show you the whole thing. Do you know how to set up a subdomain?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't done one on Wix though. So
I can walk you through it.
but I know how to do it though. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not. It's not at all. Okay.
And that is what you have to do. To do it through Manus, you have to set up a subdomain to get it to come up, right?
Well, the reason I'm doing it like that, and I'm still jockeying around what's best to do. It's funny, Marcella and I had a meeting about it today. because the pages that Manus creates are far more resonant for today's day and age than the pages you can create in Wix.
Mhm.
The flexibility of adjusting them via Manus and then just making that push directly to that page is really simple. The only caveat is you have to have a Manus account in order to keep the website going. But you have to have hosting in order to have a website going anyway.
Right, that's true.
To me, it's like, yeah, my only concern is putting all your eggs in one basket, because right now I'm looking at possibly taking our Wix installation into a headless situation as far as the software stack, so that we can just essentially use the guts of Wix that we really like, and we'll just use them on an API call, but we'll be able to design everything using Manus and just boot it straight up to the site, because there won't be any restriction on having to use Wix's framework to create the website. So, but I don't know as yet. I need to talk to Wix to find out if there's any additional cost with API calls backwards and forwards. If it gets very API call heavy, does that start costing more money? What's the deal? But I'm trying to make sure we don't put all our eggs in one basket. But Manus is a true agent, and when I show you what I'm going to show you in a moment, you'll really be like, "Thanks, Ryan. I'm not going to sleep for 3 days."
Right.
However, you'll have all the time in the world to sleep.
That's true.
So I think Manus is the way forward. And I may have mentioned to you before, Terrence, when I hear, the politicians speak about AI and everything, and they're like, "Oh, America's leading AI." I'm like, "No, you're not. You are so
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, right.
And the more I understand and use Manus, and I get deeper and deeper into its use and actually leveraging its use, the more I'm seeing that, like OpenAI, Gemini, Gemini's new Pro 3 release is really, really good. I've been testing that today. It is amazing, but you can integrate Google tools into apps very easily. But when it comes to deploying them, monetizing them, or doing anything else, if you're not a complete techie, if you don't know how to set up a Google Cloud project with an API, then you're screwed. You're not going any further. Plus, then you're into paying Google for API credits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think Manus is way ahead of the curve. And the other thing is, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain to you how it works in the background, because I think a lot of people's concern is security, and that's a very valid point. But Manus works when you set Manus loose, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute, and ask it to do something. Then it does it using your browser with your credentials and your IP address. So you're not taking an AI agent and then going into that AI agent's browser, right? And then transferring everything over to that and having to give it your login, yada, yada, yada. So let's dive in and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start a new task. There's no need for an agent or anything. And I'm going to ask you, can you please make a post on LinkedIn and reference that this post is AI generated workflow and it might demo right now. And submission difference. Okay, so please can you make a post on LinkedIn, excuse my spelling, and reference this post as AI generated workflow in a live demo right now. And please mention Terrence Southern and thank him for being here. Go.
Mm.
All right, so I'm authorizing my browser. It always asks for authorization first. Watch this magic, Terrence. I'm just going to sit back and have a little coffee. I have a lot of tabs open. I hope it's not running slow. I'm also recording this video. My MacBook is panting. So I think, here we go. So what it does, it opens up another browser and will then carry out action. As long as you have a logged in session to whatever tool, social media account that you want to access, then it can take over and do the action for you. Let's see where it's at. Close that out. Let me close some of this stuff out there. Okay, here we go. It started to create the post. Now, here's the key thing that I've figured out with this, Terrence. You can create your own brand voice, right? You can have it create LinkedIn posts, Reddit posts, whatever you want, doesn't matter, whatever your flavor is for your business. But you can schedule this as a task. So it does it once a day or 10 times a day, however you want. And you don't even have to look at it. I mean, you could put it in draft mode, obviously, so you have a gate, you need your human in the loop. But once you've got it really pretty well trained, you could set this thing free. And I would say it's generating videos for TikTok, and you're not as brand sensitive, let's say, on that channel as you are on maybe another channel. I think this would be amazing. Go on, baby girl. You can do it. So we're at 2 minutes 46 so far. It's probably just going to say it's done. It may not show us. It's posted here. All right. Perfect. Posted, ready to go. I see it's all typed out. Should I click the post button so you get the human in the loop? Yes.
So it doesn't show it linking to my name, though, or does it?
No, I don't think it does. I should have asked it to link to you.
Okay.
I'm sure it would have.
But still very impressive. Like I'm just you can see I'm all leaned in.
No, but that's a great point, because that's something to write into it. Ensure that any name is tagged, the person is tagged, or whatever the correct inference is for LinkedIn. I hate social media. It's not my thing at all. I'm not a social media puppy, and I know that I need to be, but I tend to err away from that stuff. That's why I'm so happy to create an avatar. I don't mind a few people, but I don't know. I get exhausted after a while.
Wow.
So it says it's posting now. Let's take a look at LinkedIn. Oh, this video is all AI. Actually, this is one from my company, one that we use AI for. Rethinking. Oh, this is the one I did earlier, the test one I did. Come on, Manus, how we doing? All right, post was successful. Post has been published. In. All right, let's see. Come on, baby. What you got? Hey, check it out.
Oh, that's super cool.
Excellent.
Wow.
There we go, bud. Give it a shout. So,
It's super neat.
so to recap for you, okay, the key, right, is not a preset prompt here necessarily, okay, in order to trigger automation. The key is to basically use Manus browser, which is in effect an oxymoron because it's just using a browser within your browser to display it. It's actually using your own browser to do the searching and everything else. So I'm just going to try one last live test here and access my Google Analytics account. Give me a 20-day update. All right, that's pretty simple. Okay. So I'd like to help you generate that report. I need a bit more information, which property or website. That makes sense. Please provide the property name or ID if you have multiples, which I do. Okay, so it's logoclass.com. Unbound traffic. Let's just keep it simple, one metric. Let's see if it can pull a report. Because this is huge, because a lot of people don't understand. Server not found. Okay, so now it's going to use the browser. I guess you have to invoke the browser. It's not necessarily going to do it. Well, it counts in already. Okay. That was me moving the mouse. Interesting. Perfect. I use the browser. 28-day traffic data for logo class. Let me start by navigating to Google Analytics. I'm preparing to access Google Analytics via the browser. MCP integration isn't configured for analytics currently. Okay, so maybe there needs to be an MCP integration for this because of the type of data. I'm not sure. I don't see why, but maybe that's a snag. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure what else. Not sure what else I have to show you, Terrence. But do you have any other questions or thoughts on maybe how you could use some of this stuff? It's like looks like this is actually.
I'm just so blown away, honestly. yeah, I'm just really blown away.
Well, the other thing is, let me show you quickly because I have left out a key piece actually, and that is how you set up a task, right? So when you go to tasks in the sidebar on Manus, if you click next to all tasks, there's a down arrow. If you click on that down arrow, you'll see scheduled. You've got all tasks, favorites, and scheduled. If you go to scheduled, you can create a new scheduled task. So, and all you do is tell it what you want done. You give it a title. You give it the prompts that you need. So, for example, invoke web search, find the 10 hottest topics on AI that people are going crazy about on LinkedIn, combine them, find the gap, and write a much better piece that would appeal to everybody, and post it to LinkedIn, ping me before it's posted so I can read the draft. And you can then just set that on a repeat. So you can have it no matter how much you want. You can do it daily, weekly, monthly. You can require the confirmation or not, or have auto proceed. If you turn this on to auto proceed, it will run the task without notifying you it's going to run the task first, basically. So it's a pre-authorization. That doesn't make it automatic that it will just go ahead and post everything. But it means that you as the human do not need to be the initial trigger to set the workflow in motion. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So this is the power under the hood right here. Because I don't want to post on LinkedIn on a regular basis. And you know what? I don't really want to have to deal with sending a workflow that I'm generating with AI to a virtual assistant who I'm going to have to, paying a virtual assistant is not the problem. Communicating with them and getting the work that you want is very often the problem. And they're very difficult to find. And when you find a good one, you don't want to let them go. So if this can bridge the gap by creating a brand AI in your own voice that has your company brand knowledge as well, has your personal brand knowledge. I mean, I've gone as far as uploading my personality details, from, personality tests I've done in the past, corporate-wise, and 16 personalities and all this other stuff. I've even uploaded that into my AI. I'm like, here you go. You want personality? Here it is. So if you can then have your AI construct this stuff and then schedule it here, there's no reason that you can't have, I would say, a 80 to 85% quality post out on LinkedIn once a week without, even if you don't do anything, you could set it to auto post and just be like, all right, I'm going to trust it and see what it does, and just put at the bottom, hey, this was written by my AI, right?
I'm willing to go out on a limb and try it. I mean, I do it because I hate having to write it. I mean, if I can prompt it to teach it to do write about different things relating to Robotopia, that would set my life free, to be on time and schedule it every week.
Yep. Well, what we need to do is build out the knowledge base first for yourself.
Okay.
And that is a collection of data. And you must have plenty of that because of the speaking you've done, various other things. So I don't think knowledge base quality and quantity would be difficult in your scenario.
No.
And just essentially, it's kind of interesting because you end up deconstructing your digital personality because you have to construct your digital personality, if that makes sense. So in building it up, you're like, yeah, maybe I should break that down into what are my personalities like as a business person, and what am I like as a dad, as a family guy, as Ryan himself. And I've learned that if you break those things up, then you get a far more responsive AI that is just more real. So there's some good. The key thing with AI, and the more and more I study it, the more courses I do, the more I learn it, the more I'm just like, this is just an amazing, amazing tool. But it's just, you have to know it's like a blank brain, no matter what you're going to do. And it's going to give you a generic answer, and it's going to wow most people, even if you just put a sentence in there and tell it to do something.
Yeah.
But for real use, business use and being productive, this thing's a weapon. It's a weapon. So I would say start working on your knowledge base and collecting data points, digital data points, convert them to PDF or Microsoft Word, or even just a plain text document is fine, Terrence, because it's an LLM it's going into. And then get all of those into a singular folder, and then we could put those into Manus, ask it to prioritize them because you want to build a knowledge base. And we'd use a little bit of ChatGPT, a little bit of Manus. Refinement goes good with both on certain things. Then basically come up with various sets of JSON files. In mine, for example, right now I have 14 files. So I've got my identity file. It's very straightforward, simple, nothing too drastic in there. Second identity file, my skills file, what I can do. What else we got? Updated identities. I keep updating things. My professional identity. My personality profile is in there. Tons of stuff. AI Ryan setup, framework for the setup, Ryan single brain. This was a brain dump of everything. So yeah, I just keep building on this. And the more I build, the better it gets.
And you're doing that in your knowledge base or by creating projects?
I have a project called Ryan the AI, and I have those files, Terrence, loaded into. Can you still see my screen? I'm still.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So this is the project here on Manus, standard project, nothing fancy, and I have those files loaded in. You can load up to 100 files, each file being no more than 100 kilobytes, if I remember correctly. As far as project files. So you can leverage this kind of as a knowledge base because it's got a good retrieval system. You can also put various prompts in here and ask it to recall that particular prompt should you want it to. So that I've used this basically, I asked it I think it was today actually, to tell me everything it knows about me. So Ryan Cunningham, 55-year-old born UK entrepreneur, now living in Toledo, Ohio, blah, blah, blah. A lot of this stuff I've got gated, like my wife's name, my son's name, their ages, etc. I don't want that stuff getting out, but it is in here. Lifelong motorcyclist, goes through my professional journey, various companies that I've highlighted. My personality, like we said, core values, mission. It goes on. It's quite deep.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to get to when you start. And I've spoken to a couple of other leading AI engineers who are building their own AIs, a replication of themselves as best they can. For me, it's more of a mission, because I just want to complete it. Like the end result of being able to crank content is kind of the cherry on a cake, I guess. Because it's something I wanted to do for quite some time, but it's always been out of reach. I've never quite had the ability to get that last step. So doing it now, I think, is great. It's very important. And this when you get to a point, the point I was trying to make, sorry, just a real background, was that when you have conversations with it and you feel like you're talking to yourself, or you ask it to say, give me 5 responses that Ryan would say, and 4 out of 5 of those are definitely Ryan. That's when you're kind of getting somewhere, So yeah, and it really is. It's a never-ending process. I see this for small business, and being a small business owner, this is how I look at AI for myself, for my business. I leverage AI as each new process that I get it to do, and I build specific process for specific things within my own business rather than trying to have a coverall that does everything. So I build that agent, and then that agent can run and do that particular thing. But it's a bit like investing in an employee. If you don't invest in the knowledge base and keep fine-tuning how that AI should work, then it gets stale. It's no good. You know, it's going to start going off brand or off track. So it's a nurture process. You build these little tools and you have to nurture them. Sure, they don't have a payroll, and they really are increasing productivity. But my concern and my lookout, if you like, is how do you keep these things consistent over the long term? Because I'm reading about more and more companies that are like, oh, we left our content department to AI and it's gone to shit. It's like, well, yeah, you didn't have anyone controlling it, or, you know, you developed something and figured it would work for a year. You know, that's not how this works. This is a nurture process, you know, and I think small business owners can grasp that concept, you know, a little bit easier than corporate, probably because there's less hands in the pie.
Yeah.
Sure. So there endeth my lesson for today, Terence.
Okay, I like it.
You got any questions? Anything you want to ask before we depart?
No, I guess, am I going to get any sleep after learning these things?
About as much as me, mate.
So I was looking up, I asked it to develop me an executive summary with a file to download for loading to my knowledge base based on just Terrence Southern. So it's thinking right now.
Nice.
And I guess I have to
have it go out and analyze those companies you're pitching at and find out what what language are these people going to resonate with? How do I hit these people right between the eyes? You know,
right?
I tell you, I think the one word that keeps resonating back to me, if anyone asks me what's so great about AI, is its relentless curiousness. Like, can I do this? Like, can I do this? You know, and it's I think that's what makes it so much fun. You know,
this is brilliant. I mean, like we were talking last week, and I was like, man, you know, could I use this instead of Chat GPT? And at least I think I feel like with the Chat GPT, at least you know, with the parent company, OpenAI, I feel like they're just too connected to the government for me to feel comfortable these days.
I'm like, I was talking to my wife about it yesterday, about December 16th, when Meta are going full AI. They're going to upload everyone's information and blah, 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 blah. And a lot of my friends are like, yeah, well, they've already got everything anyway. And my business partner's like, well, I think it's perfect. He said, because I can just say anything was generated by AI. It wasn't me.
Right.
So that should be a good legal defense in the future. And I'm like, yeah, it's a bit thin though, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if the judge is AI.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
they are going to use it. Yeah.
Got to think those things through. So, you know, my wife is like, oh, you're so dark, you're so nefarious. I'm like, no, I said, is when you have an understanding of things, you've got to look at both sides of the fence. You know, you got to consider, you know, and this does have a very nefarious potential, you know. So, but we use it for good. So that's what's wonderful. And hopefully what you've learned tonight, Terence, can save you a bit of time, my friend, and maybe crush some of those. You know, I don't even know what they are because I suffer from them too. The lack of being able to post regularly on a social channel, you know, just maybe starting with that one thing. And then next week, I'll show you some other stuff as well, because the video that we're going to do for the actual intro will probably only take about 10 minutes to record. But I can show you how to set up email triggers within Manus. So directly from your email, you can send something and be like, hey, I need you to give me a full report on this company immediately. Like, get it done as soon as possible and email it straight back to me. And you don't even have to go to Manus. It'll do it all and send it to you.
Are you going to be able to share this recording? Because I'd like to look back and see how to to create the prompt for it to post to LinkedIn for me. I didn't write it down or try it yet, but I want to go ahead and get that a go.
100%, Terrence. 100%. And remember, the caveat with that is, and I think it did. Let's just before we jump, if it's okay with you, let's see if it gave me the what did I ask for? Oh, I'm scheduled. That's why. All tasks, access. Did we get a report? What did we get? Okay, this looks tasty. Not the best layout. Could do with some work. 28-day period. Still rocking it in organic search. All right, not bad, not bad. Okay, not brilliant, but then again, I'm a professional SEO. I'd expect something a little better. But still, it managed to do it. That was the task, right? Impressive. AI generated LinkedIn post. I'm going to send you this terms in the chat quickly, so you've got it right now.
Okay.
Just to save you having to trog through the video to find it. There we go, sir. And you want to ask it to invoke Manus's browser, because remember, first of all, it didn't get that it should use the browser.
Okay, right.
Now, if you haven't got that installed, Terrence, there is also, I believe, trying to think when I installed it, you may have to install the Google Chrome extension for Manus to get it to work properly. I can't remember if I went through that loop or not, but I've heard some people say they had to install the browser extension in order to make it work, and I am not sure. Yes, I do. You need the Manus browser operator extension.
Okay, yeah, I have that on my PC.
Perfect. Then you're good to rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. Okay. I think I got what I need. I'm good.
Excellent, Terrence. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, this is awesome. I'm gonna give this a try, and then hopefully I'll have some updates for you next week.
All right, I'm going to be watching out for your LinkedIn post, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, Terrence. You take care,
All right.
man.
We'll see you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.